Hi, today we are in Bwanda landing site in Mayuge, and we bring to you two experts who know what they do, and they do try to help the people day in, day out to see that they are able to assist the people who use waters in their life. And these are children, mothers, parents, students, and most especially the fishermen who go on the waters as a daily way of getting money and making income to see that they sustain their families. And with Bwanda landing site, it is immense and very big, that it comprises of very, very many different islands. But the question is, how are they able to help and assist the people? Are there different health centers that they can do help? Is there a landline that they can help them to, in case of any drowning issue that happens on the waters? Is there a fastest way that the Marine Corps can try to get onto the people? We'll have this conversation as we have the experts who know what they do, and they know best how Bwanda survives with its people. I'll give this a chance to let them introduce themselves, and we'll head into this conversation. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you. I'm called Mr. Yuki James Akol. I'm a beach leader of Bwanda landing site. That is the leader of the fishermen in Bwanda Town Council.
Nice to meet you. Yes, Marine Officer.
Yes.
It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Your names and the position?
My name is Julius Caesar, Assistant Inspector of Police, heading a marine detach here in Bwanda landing site.
Starting with, I want to know, how long have you been on this landing site? For both of you, let me just start with that. How long have you been on this landing site? Because I've just looked at it and it's very big and immense, and the conversations we've had before the coming onto this podcast of how big it is.
Thank you for your question, but for me, I've stayed for over 30 years in this particular place.
Marine Officer.
Yes, I'm just making the third month here. I'm newly transferred here. I've been in Lake Wamala, but I've been in Marines since 1996. So I'm not a new person in where water is.
What are the biggest challenges that are faced on the water, and they affect the people who depend on the water as their livelihood and their source of income and transportation, just like how we depend on land transportation?
Surely there are very many challenges as per lake users. And this is on different types of people, because there are those ones who are transporting, there are those ones who are fishing, there are those ones who are traveling. So it brings us also inside that when the weather is rough, people won't go to attend class. For example, for schools or teachers who are based this side or who have come to check on their families, but they're teaching in an island. So when they come, you may find the weather is too rough to the extent that we stop them from going, or if they go, they'll risk drowning. So that's one of the biggest challenges. So some of the challenges is people use the water, but they don't know how to swim. They don't adhere to regulations, because SOLAS is abbreviation in marine terms or maritime terms, meaning safety of life at sea. But now you find, because somebody is hiring for business, it doesn't adhere to those regulations, because our work basically is to regulate traffic, supervise loading of cargo and the rest. But now you find somebody may not adhere to the regulations. Why? Because he's going for a rescue or for treatment. For example, coming out from the island, the weather is rough, he's very sick, he's badly off, is needed to be taken to the hospital. So therefore, they lack what first aid does. Sometimes if someone has got an accident, he's supposed to be given first aid. Now all that's why we engaged with the beach management leaders to assist with that. They assist us in managing the difficulties and problems faced by the fishermen or the lake users.
To you, sir, you've been here for the past 30 years, and with my basis of seeing, I would want to know, for the fishermen as you lead them, how many of them can actually swim, not having the thought of swimming, and they are fully certified and they have passed through the actual process of knowing how to swim, and survival skills in case of any of any lake distractions, if it's wind, if it's animals and all that.
I want also to add on what the officer said. There are so many challenges that we face at the landing site. One, during rainy season, weather is always the types of winds below are rough that can cause accidents. at times overloading by some of these fishers. Others drown because of lack of skills to swim and to help themselves. Others do not want to use life jackets. And others because of operation, especially those using illegal gears. Whenever they see this operation, they tend to fear and think they can survive by into the water to survive, to be imprisoned. Then my typical question you have given me, how many do swim? I want to tell you, madam, that fishermen are mobile, and every day they are producing fishermen and are coming from various destinations. Those who are born at the landing site in most cases, especially these when they are still young and know how to swim, they can learn how to swim. But there are those mobile ones who come here for the purpose of fishing, surviving. They come when they do not know how to swim. So you will find that it is only a little percentage of fishermen that I am not appropriate with that know how to swim, but the majority do not know how to swim.
Since there are more of mobile people.
Yes, since every time we are receiving people from different areas coming for fishing, they can come when they do not know how to swim, but the few who may be born around the water areas are the ones who know how to swim.
So with this, what has been done to see that those who are mobile and come to learn how to swim so far? What has been done? Is there something that has been done? Is there assistance that needs to be done?
Police Marine has been strict a bit on how the use of life jackets, especially when they are quite aware that most of these people do not know how to swim. So whenever they do their operations, the MCS, control monitoring, they have to make sure that everybody is in a life jacket. And also as leaders, we have to sensitize them in every meetings we have to make sure that if you are using the waters, you have to learn the skills of swimming and use of life jackets. So in one way or another, when 3 have drowned, you will find 2 surviving and 1 dying. Otherwise, if others could all not know how to swim, then probably all of them would have died. So since in a proportion that always when the boat has drowned, it is not very easy for everyone to die. Can die 1 and survive 2. Can die 2 and survive 5. So also the transporters, we always tell them to have some floating objects in their boat, apart from life jackets. If there are very many more than that, they should have either jerry cans, they can have even sack of charcoal. You know that sack of charcoal, when you have drowned, you can lean on it so that the rescue team can.
Thank you so much. Marine officer, what safety measures are currently in place to protect passengers and fishermen? Are they being enforced if they are there?
Exactly. Now, one of the reasons as why people get accidents in water is poor supervision. So in that way, like other detaches, where boats transport passengers from one place to another, it is the mandate of the marine officers there or the beach management leader who is there in that land in case absence of marine in that place, to make sure they supervise the loading of the boat, transport boat. They know how many people are going. Like we have these manifest registration forms. We must register each and every person going, his name, his age, or her age, or ID, like that, like NIN number. Say that in case of an accident, we are able to trace for who has got drowned, who is missing. But otherwise, the regulation is no entering the boat without a life jacket or protective device. We call it the personal protection device. Everyone must have. It is now a law because it's not easy to get a body because you don't know how many people are in board. So the owner of the transport boat has to register the people going with him and leave a list behind with either police marine or the beach management leader, so that we're able to trace who has got lost, who has got drowned. And also we must sit with that the regulation of seaworthy boats. The boat should not be weak, should not be small, should not be rotten. If the boat is not seaworthy, we shall stop that boat from transporting people, and we shall inform all the beach management leaders that in absence of marine police here in this landing site, in Marine site, maybe you will find marine is not there. We tell the beach management leader there that no boat like this boat, it's not seaworthy to carry people. Then most of the accidents happen because of human errors. You find somebody smoking and petrol is there, somebody fighting, somebody drinking. So, an unskilled management of the vessel. You see, a person does not know how to pilot the engine. He doesn't know the geography of the area. So ends up rolling onto a rock, ends up going where the wild animals like crocodiles. So those human errors are more of any other natural errors. So it is strictly that we must restrict or we must supervise. In our absence, we always tell the beach leaders that supervise the boat living here. Check the one coming. Are they having the protective devices? Exactly, that's what we're doing to protect the people.
You mentioned something, but do the people adhere to see that they register the people they're going with?
We have even copies here. No boat lives here without registering.
Interesting. That is very, very, very nice. Back to you, the beach management officer. I want to understand, are there any existing policies to protect the fishermen and ensure their safety on water? Are there any policies that are there?
Yes, we have what they call beach guideline, beach landing site guidelines, and what they call the bylaws. We always adapt to bylaws, and we have a guideline where it still talks about seaworthy boats and 28 inches long boat, so that even if the lake is rough, you are always safe. A seaworthy boat, the moment you are found with some of these boats, we fine you as a means for you not to repeat doing what? Going back with that boat. 2, if you come without a life jacket, assume maybe you have escaped marine and you have come back without a life jacket, we also call you and question you. Then also we have monthly meetings with the fishers. In these monthly meetings, we involve all the stakeholders, marine leaders, local leaders, and whatever, so that there are some burning issues, especially if we have some stubborn people, we can also question them as a team. Assume you always escape with your boat when you have not got the data by marine to get how many people are on board, and you come back, you are liable to punishment. So these policies are there. There are also landing sites, as he has mentioned, that since marine is stationed, it has a post here in Bonda, but there are so many landing sites attached to Bonda. Still in this, we also put there what we call committees. These committees are for the purpose of protecting fishermen and giving them guidelines how to deal with the fishermen who are landing in these unlanding ungazetted areas, because there are also very many. Then we also trained some fishermen through Design Without Borders with the meteorological. We have some fishermen who are on WhatsApp all around the landing site. So when they see this meteorological information that today the lake will be rough, they are able to give the information to their particular
or their communities.
If we also have some coins and we have seen that the lake will be rough, we also announce that nobody should leave the landing site, because they always tell us that at such a time to that, the lake will be like this. We also inform them that the lake will be rough up to such a time, so that they can have a proper access to the lake when that weather has been access that is now fine. So those are some of the regulations we always put on for safety.
Thank you so much. Back to the marine officer, we had I noticed something for all the journeys that I've been having, and how much data do we have collected on the case of drowning here at Bonda, and how are we working with the health departments all over the place of Mayuge to see that there is first-hand rescue for the people in case of drowning has happened. I had a conversation with one of the fishermen, and he says the distance that led to his friend's death was that it's far from here to where he can get the assistance of health for. So I would want to know if there is data collection for that, and what is the leading cause of drowning in case they have gotten from outside. Is it the distance? What is that? If you would mind to share.
As I told you before, that most of the drownings are caused by human errors. Somebody leaves a landing site going fishing and he has no contact to either the health center or the leaders or marine police. So you may find he has gone a distance. Drowning, if someone dies within minutes, so let us say like 10 nautical miles away from you. Okay, distance in water is measured in nautical miles. If somebody is around 10 nautical miles and he has communicated maybe, so it's very rare to get that person alive. And that's why we insist putting on personal protective devices. Now for us here, we may get communication. That's why one of our mandates in water is regular patrols to bar or to stop intruders, pirates, and rescues. Every time the boat has to be in water, like my people are right now in water. But I have to coordinate with those ones in Sigulu, Hama, Dolwe, Jinja, Bonda, Kindi. Such that if somebody has rang me away who is very far, like 15 nautical miles, I really see the point, then I call the other person, my colleague from the side, to come for the rescue because it's nearer. So otherwise, the data collection about drownings, we always make the data here when sent to our headquarters and send maybe to the district as well. As I told you, human errors are very common.
According to the data collection, is drowning one of the leading causes? Is it on a higher level? Is it in a minimal level? Or
in some time back, it was on a high level, but because of training, sensitization, and because we partnership with the Swim Safe Uganda, Design Without Borders, Rich Hand Uganda, then Royal Life Saving Societies, all those NGOs partnership with the Marine Police to see to it that we reduce drowning, and then trainings, workshops. So people are now made aware the dangers and where they come from, the causes of the dangers. So they have reduced completely down. The word is safe. S stands for spot the danger. Then A stands for advise a colleague. B with a friend, that's F, in the emergency. That's the phone. When we spot the danger, that why are these drownings common and what causes, then we have realized that the more dangers or causes are by human errors. So we have to involve the community and train them, sensitize them, so that now the drownings are reduced.
Thank you so much.
Exactly.
Back to the beach management officer, I would want to know, are there myths and misconceptions, as a marine officer is emphasizing human errors, and I find that myths and misconceptions are there always. So are there any myths and misconceptions that have also led to drowning to be in a higher rate?
So generally, what I know here, there are also some taboos that people follow here. When you are going in the lake to fish, assume so. What the food you have to use in the lake cannot involve matoke, cannot involve sweet potatoes, it can be cassava flour, posho, and fish. You don't take meat.
But now my question is, are there health facilities that are around Bonda landing site, because it's very big? In case of any emergency, all we need to first move back to the city where we came from.
We have a health center too here.
It's close nearby?
It's very near here. But no expert.
But no expert is around.
Now we can have the marine and the beach, and the few we trained through Design Without Borders, who can know how to apply now what, especially when the trainers has drowned. But now if you go to a health center too, you may not have that skilled person. Although we trained him with the Design Without Borders, also the in charge, but they go on transferring them. The man we trained with, again he was transferred. Now somebody else is the one here.
And also, the more you train different people, it's more sustainable.
More sustainable.
Interesting. As we come to the end of this conversation, I would like you to tell us and also to speak to the same leaders, the people, your fellow leaders, to see that we have these point of views, we have these things that we need. If we need the trainings, if it's about the fishermen, say that life jackets are very, very expensive for them to be able to afford. And then at the same point, they're trying to get a living out of fishing, and it's very hard for them to have a well-certified boat, and then they have to buy a life jacket, which is starting at 65,000. That's a conversation I had with them before. What is being done to see that these life jackets are accessible to them and they're affordable to them and their own standard?
As I told you, personal flotation device, a life jacket or another thing which can make you float. Most of these life jackets range from 50,000 and above, that is of 200,000. So our fishermen cannot afford. Now, I appeal to our local leaders, government people, MPs, to at least make sure they come and bring those life jackets and the fishermen purchase in the higher purchasing. So they put it here, then every day or every week, someone pays 10,000 or 5,000 or 1,000. In a long run of 3 months, you will have completed paying a life jacket which is worth to be used. By the time you get an accident, it goes off you. But the one which is used for protection is expensive. So I appeal to the local leaders, maybe those ones, the traders, MPs, because these are our electorates, the people who vote for us, and we want them safe, so that tomorrow they will vote for you. So an MP can volunteer and bring. Me, myself, I know how to swim, but I cannot enter the water without putting a life jacket. What about our people? And yet they are looking for school fees for the children of tomorrow who will become a police officer like me.
Thank you so much. Yes, beach management leader, what is your say?
There should be a lot to be done to protect the lives of fishermen. Fishermen is one of the sources of the income to the government through taxation. If you look around, the life jackets most fishermen use are not recommended type. They just use them in order to avoid the arrest by the police officers. Just because there is no fish now in the lake and they don't have money. So now such a life jacket costs about 40,000. We urge you, the government and the developmental partners, to make our fishermen access a life jacket at 40 or 30,000, but once a recommended type that can keep him after draining for over 48 hours. Ministry of Transport should come down from up to down to label these boats, the overload of these boats. Because now they always convince an officer that no, the boat is not overloaded. Just because there is no line that the Ministry of Transport has put the label where you can see that the boat has gone down, has sound. Because there are supposed to be those lines whereby when it has gone beyond the level, you can easily know that the boat has overloaded. We would have helped our people. 3, the information about meteorological should be accessed by almost all landing sites, and probably even give some allocation to most landing sites to be announcing this for the safety of fishermen. Because the fishermen always, you may look around here and see that these boats are around, but when there are some boats hidden somewhere, who can sneak because they are wrong officials, then tomorrow you hear they have drowned. But now, when they are hidden there and some announcement has been made that the lake will be too rough between this time and time, even the other one hiding there, legal official can easily do what? We thank you that you should continue to make sure that these people are gaining swimming skills. Because like we went with the Design Without Borders, we trained many, and now we have seen that the accidents have reduced because the information is only moving on well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Officer.
Thank you.
As we come to a conclusion of this podcast, we have been able to hear the different views of the experts who are always on the water, the marine officer and the beach management leader, who have given us insights on the different things that are taking place. They have taken you through how the fishermen and the people who use the water, the passengers and students, are being affected, but what can be done. What has caught my eyes and ears is one that we need to get the first aiders who have the expertise in this field in case of any emergency that comes on board on the waters people can easily be saved in case the Marines are able to make it in time, or the local people can be able to bring the person in time. And secondly, to have the information of the weather forecasting to each and every person on the different landing sites, so that even the illegal fishermen who try to dodge around from the Marine can be saved and still not carry out activities of fishing when the weather is not very well comfortable or very well suitable for fishing. The question still remains for you to understand that there are different challenges and risks that are always on waters, but we have different experts who are trying to do what they can do, but they need the support of each and everyone in their section to see that lives are saved and drowning is a story that would be just in the past and not in our future or in the present. I remain Nazri Elizabeth, and we are at Bonda Landing Site in Mayuge. Thank you.